What is up, you guys? My name is Roman, and my pronouns are he, him, and his. And today I'm going to be watching and reacting to What Happens to Alan Grant Now by Swerve. This is just a little bonus video I thought I'd do. This is another in relation to Sam Neill passing. Uh, I saw a little bit of it at first, but then I decided to save it for a reaction, and uh, but I just forgot, but now I'm finally gonna watch it on the channel. And basically, yeah, this is I guess just like on what's gonna happen now with his character, whether he's alive or not. But this is just and this is from 11 days ago, so I'm a little late on seeing it. But yeah, either way, be sure to go subscribe to. But either way, be sure to go subscribe to Swerve. I will link him in the description below. And without any further ado, let's lock in.
Park. You look untrustworthy.
Yeah, I'm getting used to it.
Let's finish this.
Yeah.
That right there may sadly be the very last time that we see Dr. Alan Grant on screen in a Jurassic movie.
Yep, it is unfortunate.
Sadly, about a week and a half ago, we lost the incredible, fantastic Sam Neill from pneumonia, of all things. He recently...
Oh yeah, that's right. Since then we found out that we now know the cause of his. Originally we didn't know about the cause of his death. Originally, like he had blood cancer, but when he before he died, he was cancer free, so we didn't know the cause. But now we know the cause. It's pneumonia. It was pneumonia.
He went through, I think, maybe 3 to 5 years of battling blood cancer. And I think earlier this year, he just said how successful he was to overcome it. And then just a few months later, his body unfortunately gave up whilst fighting pneumonia. At the age of 78, to me, I'm still not over it. It's still so heartbreaking. And just looking back at the incredible videos and photos that he was posting on his social media, we know that the world has lost someone fantastic. But the cruel part about life is that it carries on, and it carries on for other people. Since then, I've had loads of people asking me,
yeah, that is true.
What now for Alan Grant? What happens to Alan Grant? Because as we saw in Jurassic World Dominion, he was last seen alive. We know he was alive, and it's safe to assume that he is doing something in this Jurassic World. So in this video, I think it's time for me to address all of the comments and questions about what is going to happen to Alan Grant's character since the
He was alive when we last saw him.
passing of Sam Neill. So that's what we're going to be doing here in today's video. Before moving forward, I do want to say that this whole video is out of respect for Sam Neill and Alan Grant, and of course you guys who just want to know and are curious about what's going on in this universe. By making this video, by no means am I disrespecting the legacy of Sam Neill and Alan Grant, and I
don't think you would disrespect him.
just mean this in a nice way to kind of portray how loved Alan Grant was as a character.
Exactly.
So I beg of you guys, please don't take this video in the wrong way. But for now, let's get into it.
Hey man, we won't. Don't worry.
So, of course, everyone's been asking the same question, what happens to Alan Grant now? So, for me, in my personal opinion, I believe that there's 3 situations that can happen to this character since the passing of Sam Neill. So let's get into situation number 1. Is this the end for Dr. Alan Grant in Jurassic? Well, for me, it's a yes and a no. It's clear that Sam Neill was the perfect man for this role. And when you look at Sam Neill, you think of Alan Grant. When you look at Alan Grant, you think of Sam Neill. And I firmly believe, and I'll stand on this forever, that Alan Grant must be played by Sam Neill in this universe at all costs.
Yes, I agree.
But of course, unfortunately, that can't happen since his passing. So we have to come to the reality that Alan Grant will no longer appear in these movies. Jurassic World Dominion was the last time that we will see him. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean we won't hear of Alan Grant, because of course in Jurassic World Rebirth his name was at least mentioned by Jonathan Bailey's character Dr. Henry Loomis.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, wasn't he mentioned in Jurassic World Rebirth? Yeah, he was.
And on top of that, it also doesn't necessarily mean that Dr. Alan Grant is dead in this universe. It all just comes down and depends to how Universal want to handle this situation going forward. They don't necessarily have to refer to him being dead or alive, they can just continue the movies without him being a major plot point. And maybe as the movies go on, or if we get some TV series, they might do something like they did with Cars 3.
Exactly.
I believe Paul Newman was the person who voiced Doc Hudson in the original Cars movie.
Yes, he was.
And of course, he sadly passed away. But in Cars 3, they treasured his memory and honored his memory and still had Doc Hudson appear, and they were using old voice lines from the original movie to kind of show that this car did pass away without ruining his legacy.
Well, they not just from the original movie, like they also used recordings of him from the games, like the PS2 games for Cars. Like they use things for like that. I think that was for the trailers, but yeah, like they use stuff like that for as a part of Paul Newman's legacy.
On top of that, they didn't mention that he passed away, they just merely implied it. So they could go down that
Right.
route, and eventually, after some time, we'll come to the realization that Alan Grant has passed away off camera in this universe. But alternatively, they can also just casually let it be and just say Alan Grant is living his life off screen. That way, we still feel that there's a part of Sam Neill still living alive in this universe. That would be really, really nice to see. And
Yeah, that would be sweet.
honestly, in my opinion, I think that's probably the best way that they can go about it.
I agree with you, man. That's the best way they could probably go out with it too.
But how else can they go about it and reincorporate Alan Grant into this universe? Well, in my opinion, like with Cars 3, I think an animated appearance for Alan Grant is still possible.
Oh, really? So you're saying like maybe he'll appear in an animated show in the future, but like they'll use old recordings of Sam Neill, similar to how they did with Doc, with Paul Newman?
I know for a fact that there are people who don't want him recast, myself included. Sam Neill is Alan Grant, and that's entirely understandable. But the animated shows have gone ahead and cast different actors for the likes of Lewis Dodson and Dr. Wu, and those voice actors did an incredible job portraying and mimicking what the actors of these characters do in the live action.
Yeah, and their live action actors are still alive, so that's saying something. But like, that's probably just because they couldn't afford them or something like that. I don't know.
To bring it into animation. There's almost next to no difference to how they're able to voice act these characters. So it wouldn't be too far-fetched to do the same thing with Dr. Alan Grant. If they do want to bring him back maybe in some kind of prequel fashion with animated series, or maybe just a future animated series, then they can just get a voice actor to voice Alan Grant for this, animated show. But then you have to think of the moral aspect regarding that. The sad thing is, that will be the only time we'll see him. And seeing him in animation versus live action is of course going to be very vastly different. And it's just going to be heartbreaking to know that we still have the character alive. We can see the animated version of him, but we just know the guy who brought him to life has sadly moved on. So maybe to preserve the good memory of Alan Grant and Sam Neill, I think they'll most likely never go down this route.
Yeah, maybe. Unfortunately, they won't.
Maybe just a quick cameo with no voice lines won't hurt entirely.
Yeah, maybe.
Whether that be a prequel series or a modern show. Something like that is still a possibility for Alan Grant. And then we have option number 3, recast. Now relax, I know I did say that Sam Neill should be Alan Grant and is the Alan Grant, and I
What are you saying then?
completely agree. But if they were to go down the recast route, I think the only way that they can do this is to recast in an entirely new universe reboot for the Jurassic Park movie. It's been on the cards for a while now. Loads of people have been asking for some kind of reboot.
Okay, I don't think I want that, but I don't know. I'll see what you have to say.
For Jurassic Park to show maybe the darker and grittier aspects of the book, and in doing so, they of course will need to recast pretty much every single character, whether that be Alan Grant, Ellie Sattler, Ian Malcolm, Tim and Lex Murphy. they're going to have to recast all of them, so that's the only other way we'll see a new Alan Grant. Now, we know in today's world, reboots of old shows and movies do tend to happen quite frequently. So it's not in the realm of impossibility for a reboot to happen for the Jurassic Park movie. And of course, if they do that, they're going to have Alan Grant, and of course, they're going to have to recast him to be someone completely different. But that's because they'll also be recasting the entire cast of Jurassic Park. Because after all, this will be a completely different universe away from the main Jurassic Cinematic Universe that we currently know of. This would also allow for a darker setting tone, which loads of people have been asking for.
I don't think I want that though. I mean, not the darker tone, but like, I don't think I would want a hard reboot. I think I'm happy with just what we have. So I think this is the least likely option, or one of the, or I'm not. I don't really like this third option, but yeah, that's just me.
Such a long while now, and it will also allow for more scenes to be incorporated into live action that can be taken from the book that didn't quite make it into this current universe.
I mean, there were some scenes that were taken straight out of the book, like in Rebirth, for example. They did take the T-Rex chase scene, T-Rex river raft chase scene from the first novel. That was in Rebirth, and that was cool. So they have taken some from the book already, but yeah.
Of course, it will allow for someone new to play Dr. Alan Grant. So in my opinion, those are the three ways that I believe that Universal can go about this Alan Grant situation with the passing of Sam Neill. Let's recap them. Number 1, we could just have him living off-screen, or maybe imply that he's passed away in a similar way to Doc Hudson in Cars 3. Number 2, we could just have him appear in animated formats, but again, some people may call the moral dilemma regarding that, and it may just be heartbreaking to see him in animated, knowing that we'll never get to see him again in live action. And I think the last time we ever see him might be better received in a live action format such as Jurassic World Dominion. Or number 3, we finally get an alternative timeline story, or maybe we get a reboot of the Jurassic Park universe and somebody else will take on the role of Alan Grant alongside the recasting of the other characters as well. So there you have it. For all of you guys who are asking me what happens to Alan Grant now, those are the options. And honestly, in my opinion, I think the best scenario right now is to continue with this Jurassic universe and go down the Doc Hudson route and
Without him,
just have people say really nice things about Alan Grant if you choose to make him die off in this universe, but have it in a way where it's more implied rather than head on. That way, I think...
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that first option too. That seems likely.
You can still at least honor the memory of Sam Neill and Alan Grant together and, still have the story not be so forced around these original characters, as much as I would love to see them again. But I'm interested to know what you guys think. Do you agree with any of these? Is there one that you like the most, or is there something that I may have missed? Feel free to let me know down in the comments below and let your thoughts be known. Be sure to leave a like on this video if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you are new around here. Again, this video is not made in poor taste, and I mean no disrespect. This is just a way to honor the memory of Sam Neill. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.
All right, this was a good video. What are... Sorry, there's like people moving around. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this. Wait. Yeah, this was a good video. Bittersweet honor to Alan Grant. I'm glad he showed he gave the few options while still showing respect to Sam Neill, and I think option 1 is the best, but yeah, I think, like, the Dominion may be the last time we have ever seen him, but at least, you can imply in future movies that Alan Grant may still be out there alive and just living his life in peace. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up, possibly share it with a friend. And if you're new, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, bye-bye.